While we're on the subject of ETFs, let me bring in Bloomberg ETF IQ host Eric Balchunas. He's been following this very closely with all of us and was part of the pushback on the false report about BlackRock yesterday, and of course also working with Bloomberg Intelligence and looking at ETFs for us as a company. Eric, what do you think about the likelihood that GBTC is able to convert to an ETF at some point, say in the next 12 to 18 months?
Pretty good. 12 to 18 months. I'd say pretty good. The real question is, will they be able to convert at the same time as the rest of the people in line, the rest of the issuers? That's an open question. Remember, a private trust has never been converted into an ETF. And you could argue the SEC may have a little grudge against them. And it's possible they hold them up in some kind of legal or technical way, approve the other ones, and then make them refile and approve them months after, or let them convert months after. We don't know. It's an open question. But they certainly deserve a lot of credit for suing the SEC and winning. And it's that lawsuit that has really paved the way for approval, since the SEC can no longer use fraud or manipulation as a grounds to denial. So we think one will be approved within 3 months. We have 90% odds on that. We're pretty optimistic. But GBTC is an open question. That is not part of the 90% approval odds.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea, Eric, that ultimately Grayscale may win the battle with the SEC, but not necessarily win the war if other spot products can make it to market before they can actually convert. Just going back to that timeline you were suggesting, within the next 3 months. So we're talking January, realistically, if the SEC is going to decide on approval. Yeah,
so the good news is, and what everybody should be optimistic about, is the SEC has replied to all the issuers with comments on their applications. Very legal, detailed stuff. ARK and Invesco have already come back with amendments to their applications. The SEC has never engaged with these issuers in the 11 years that this has been going on. This is new, and it shows that they are looking to get the applications up to a point where they're comfortable with them. And we think that'll take a couple months. And January 10th, I believe, is the exact date that they have to have some kind of a decision on ARK. ARK is sort of the guinea pig here, and we think probably at that time they will accelerate the other ones to move up and launch alongside ARK, probably in January. Could be sooner. It could be also a little later, but around all that, I think will play out. There could be some details. Maybe they'll launch a little later in January, but we'll call it a few months from now. It's looking pretty good, again, based on that optimism that the SEC and the staff is working with the issuers.
All right, a fun ETF IQ Bloomberg Crypto crossover this week. Eric Balchunas, host of ETF IQ, and also joining us from Bloomberg Intelligence. Thank you very much.